Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In today's video, I'm going to start work on my giant mega build that I have laid out here. So each of these different squares, there's 10 of them, is going to be a pillar for my massive tower. Wait, did I count wrong? Is it only 9? No, there is 10. Uh, Counting is a little hard, but there's 10 of these pillars, and each of them is going to be some, like, I'm going to try to randomize the different colors with andesite, stone, gravel, cobblestone, and tuff. So I have all of the blocks that I need for the towers, I think, right here. And I'm going to be like using a macro that scrolls through my hotbar like this to randomize how the blocks place on each of these towers. It's going to be basically 4 segments of 16 tall blocks, and each of these squares is 16 by 16. So they're kind of going to be cubes stacked on top of each other with little gap spots in the middle where it'll be like indented, so they actually look like cubes. But I was collecting all these resources, and it took me a long time. Um, Especially to get 3 shulker boxes of tough. That was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Some would even say tough. And 6 shulker boxes of andesite. But I already had all this stuff. This stuff was not easy to get. But now that I have it all, I can start working on this base. But before I do that, I want to show one thing really quick. I was trying to get the gravel, and I had flown over in this direction. So remember that this is a server that I run from my house, and I'm at college playing Minecraft here. So as I was flying this direction to find some gravel that I had seen on Chunk Base, I uh, ran into a weird scenario. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So this village right here started rendering in when I flew this direction the last time, but as you can see, the generation got a little bit messed up. So this village here, half of it is floating above a warm ocean coral reef that's not supposed to be here. And what actually happened was my world file seed got reset to 0, which I've never even heard of happening before. And it really kind of messed this world up in a couple spots. There's one other spot that I didn't actually realize it was happening. I was just confused why the chunk base was wrong, but it turns out that location is also wrong. But luckily, the 2 areas that I did load were a warm ocean with a coral reef and a mangrove swamp, 2 biomes that I did not have before. And I figured it out pretty quick. So I actually stopped once I saw this village, and I was like, this is not right. This land generation is very funky. This is not like an update problem or something. And I actually figured out that you can change the level.dat file to fix the seed again, and I actually did that right over here. And all of this stuff on this side is the correct seed for the world. So I fixed it again, and now the rest of the world should load with the proper seed, not seed 0, which is what this area here is. So I'm really happy that I was able to fix that because I wanted to continue to use the seed that I had. I had actually picked that out for my friends and I to use because I had liked the world gen on it. But I'm also a little bit happy that I got this warm ocean right here. I have one other one that I have a nether portal at, and it's like forever away. I think it was like 10,000 blocks away. That's what that cobblestone path is leading from my nether portal, if you've ever seen it. But now I'm just going to get started working on those massive pillars with the randomized blocks, and I'll come back when I have a little bit of progress on them, just when I get them all kind of at that base level of being in line in height with the tallest one in the ground, so that they all kind of start at an even spot, because that's where I'll actually start the cubes. And then there'll be 4 cubes stacked on top of that. I'll see you guys once I am at that point. I've been putting in work building up these towers, and I've gotten 8 out of the 10 to what I would consider the starting point, and that means that they're just at Y level 74, which is a couple black blocks taller than the land at the tallest tower, so that they all look like they're kind of coming out of the ground to begin with. I do have the 2 hardest ones left that go into the ocean, but they shouldn't take too long to get to the height, and then I'm going to start building these pillars up. These starting point heights are taking a lot more blocks than I thought they would, so I might have to go retrieve more andesite and tuff and gravel at some point. I'm not 100% sure yet because obviously I haven't gotten very far, but right now I think that I should be good to do at least 3 more blocks, like 16 tall blocks on top of these. I want to go for 4, so I might need to collect a few more blocks. We'll see when we get to the finished part because I'm not exactly sure how it's going to look yet. I haven't built something of this size in Minecraft before, but I'm really excited to continue to work on these, so I'm going to finish up getting these 2 towers to the starting points, and then I'm going to start building all of the towers up. I might start with just the center one to see how one tower looks before I do them all, but that's the plan right now. I'll see you guys once I have more of it done. I'm done with the towers, like getting them all to the starting point, and I have started the center tower, building it up, and I'm really liking how it's looking with those separations. It really does look like massive blocks set on top of each other, and I'm really liking how that's looking, so I'm going to add at least one more layer onto the top of there, and I'm going to keep working on the rest of these towers to get them all to the same height. I just wanted to show you, like, um, the ones I did in the water, they took a lot more blocks than I expected, and I actually uh, expanded them down and have the cut-ins for the blocks on those too, so they're not just like big blobs into the water. They should like still have the correct spacing and everything. So I'm really happy that I remembered to do that, and I think it just adds that little bit to the build to show that I'm really like completing it, and I want to get better at like really finishing a build. So I'm working on that, and I'm also working on these giant towers. I am burning through materials. Like, I've gone through already a full shulker box of stone and andesite and cobblestone and stuff. And I'm just burning through everything. But I'm just going to keep working on the towers, and I'll see you guys once I have more of them done. The towers have been coming along nicely. I have 6 of them done, and I have 4 left. These 3 and the one way over there. I'm really liking how they're turning out. The more that I make, the better it looks, I think, and I'm really liking just this whole texture pattern with the tuff and stuff. I really thought that the tuff would kind of stand out against the rest of the gray blocks because it's kind of brownish green, as you can see. It's a little darker, but I think that I am doing a good amount of it within the build, so it just gives it a little bit more texture rather than like being overpowering and completely changing the look of the pillars. So I'm really liking how these are coming along, and I just got 4 more left, so I'm going to complete those, and uh, once I have them complete, I'll show you guys the finished product. I finished all 10 towers and they are looking awesome. I'm really happy with how they've all turned out. I think that the randomized blocks really did make them look a lot nicer and like a lot more real than just like towers of all the same block. So I'm really happy with how all 10 of these turned out. And the next part of this build is actually going to be the like base plate that's going to go on top of these pillars that's going to hold the rest of the build. And I don't really want to spoil what the build is going to be yet. You'll have to watch later videos, but right now I'm going to start working on the build plate, and my plan for that is to go 12 blocks out. I don't know why these blocks are invisible. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So then uh, on this 12th block, I'll go all the way around and kind of like a 12 block radius around all of these pillars, and that will be like the start of the base plate. So I'm gonna work on that, and I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I'm a little bit sick right now. I have contracted a little bit of a cold, so I'm just uh, trying to still make the videos, and I'm hoping that I'll feel better soon so that I can go back to weightlifting because I was gonna hit legs today, and I don't think I'm going to anymore because I'm really not feeling well, which means more time for Minecraft, I guess. But I'm gonna get this ring started, and I will come back once I have the ring done, just so you guys can get a view of what this plate is gonna look like. As you guys can hear, I got a lot sicker since the last clip, and yeah, I'm not feeling the best. But I did finish the outline of my platform that I'm gonna put on top of these pillars, and this is what it's gonna look like. It's not gonna be made out of netherrack, don't worry. I'm gonna make it out of iron blocks and smooth stone because they kind of go together, and that's kind of like
I mean, I think Mumbo Jumbo did that in one of his seasons of Hermitcraft. He built a base that used iron and smooth stone together to like add some texture to it, but not like add too much. And I thought that looked really nice, so I want to use that in this build. So that's what I'm going to make this platform out of. It's going to be 4 blocks tall, so the bottom layer is going to be completely flat, and then it's going to be 2 blocks that are like air, but then there's like a border that goes around them, and then another layer that again is solid, and that top layer is where I'm going to build the stuff on top of it and finish off this build. But for now, I think this is the end of this video. I really am not feeling the best, and I want to get this video out and continue to make progress on this base. So I'm going to end the video here. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.